All right, thanks, Hayden. We have a brand new tornado warning that has been issued for that same area we were watching that made its way through Jefferson County. I told you there was little kinks in that line of storms that could produce a quick tornado with little to no warning. And it looks like we now have 2 tornado warnings in effect. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you the warnings first of all and clear all the clutter here. So we've got the tornado warning in effect for parts of Prairie County. That includes you folks in Hazen, also very close to Tollville, Biscoe, Highway 70, Highway 63, Highway 249, also Hallsville and Mesa. And then we have a new tornado warning that also has been issued into Arkansas County. That includes the city of Stuttgart. So the sirens are going off in Stuttgart. The sirens are going off in other locations. This tornado warning also clips parts of Prairie County and gets into Monroe County. This is a type of situation where you're not going to be able to one, see the tornado because it's dark, but two, it's most likely going to be rain wrapped. So you've got the rain in place with both of these cells, and it's going to be something happening, a very quick touchdown with little notice. But we do have a little kink here moving through parts of Arkansas County, approaching Stuttgart. I'm taking a look at some other information. We're going to take a look at the velocity, the winds within this cell. So if there's something happening at this time, it's going to be right along Highway 63, approaching the community of Goldman and very close to Stuttgart. Probably the rotation is going to go right over the Walmart of Stuttgart. That's the W that you see. That's something unique we have here on THV 11. We like to put landmarks so you can find yourself on the map. So once again, if you're watching us in this part of Arkansas County, along Highway 63, Goldman, Stuttgart, Yoder, you need to go ahead and just be safe. Take your tornado precautions at this time because there could be a quick tornado that may happen at any moment. There's not a lot of significant rotation, but we're just in that type of situation. We have a lot of wind energy in the atmosphere. These storms are still nasty as they make their way off to the east. Looking at the one into Prairie County, there's, you see, not too much rotation. I'm going to rewind it back here and see if I'm looking at any other areas of concern when we rewind it back going into the past, I would say 10 minutes or so, and exactly why they decided to pull the trigger on that tornado warning for Prairie County. Yeah, there was definitely some rotation. So there you see the rotation really picked up along Highway 86, and now it's started to break up somewhat, but looks like we have a rush of wind moving through Slovak and pretty close to Tollville. So you may not see a tornado in those areas, but certainly some very gusty winds moving through Slovak and very close to Tollville. So the rotation with that one does not look as impressive. So Hazen, yes, you're under the tornado warning, but at this time that does not look as strong as what we're looking at starting to make its way closer and closer to Goldman. So we have 2 tornado warnings in effect. Once again, if you're just joining us, maybe you're just waking up because you had that notification on your phone or you're hearing the tornado sirens. The threat of severe weather is shifting east. If you are to the west of this line, you're done with the threat of severe weather. That includes Little Rock, that includes Little Rock Metro, Sheridan, all the way down through Arkadelphia, Camden. You're done with the threat of severe weather. Folks to the east need to watch out for these cells and this line as it continues to progress its way off to the east and towards the Mississippi River. Right along that line, so we have Des Arc, McCrory, down through Stuttgart, down through Star City, Dumas, DeWitt. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for parts of Lincoln County into DeShay County, southern Arkansas County, and the little appendage into Jefferson County. So those areas could see some very gusty winds, potentially high winds. When we take a look at the type of severe thunderstorm warning, they are going with a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, it looks like. So that one is definitely has some very high winds with it. When they go with a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, that means winds could be maybe approaching 80 miles per hour. And that's straight line winds. And straight line wind damage can certainly do as much damage in a wider area compared to an EF0 or even an EF1 tornado. So certainly take this seriously down to Lincoln County. down DeShay County, DeWitt, Dumas, Star City, Grady, Gillette, those areas, you're going to get hit with a wall of wind as this line continues to race its way to the east-northeast through those areas. That wind is nothing to mess around with. 2 tornado warnings still in effect, Prairie County into Arkansas County. I'm not looking at too much rotation into Prairie County, but there's something still happening. It's going to be close to Tollville, although I'm seeing more of the outflow take over any rotation that we were observing just about 10 minutes ago. Gusty winds can still produce damage. Be ready in those areas, especially since it's a lot of farmland and there's nothing to really stop those winds. So be on your guard. Duval's Bluff, Bisco, you're still going to see some very gusty winds. When we take a look at the tornado warning, we still have that tornado warning in effect for the city of Stuttgart. I'm not seeing anything really screaming out to me saying, okay, this is definitely on the ground at this time. I'm going to take a look at some other information on Storm Track 11 just to see I'm not missing anything. Let's go to Storm Track 11 and let's take a look at that signature. That is more of a gusty wind signature where that green is, which is very close to Stuttgart, just down to south of Stuttgart. That to me doesn't say this is a rotation signature. This says this is primarily going to be straight line winds, but it could turn into a rotation signature. So don't let your guard down. You're under tornado warning in that part of Arkansas County. Back over to Max 1 now. And when we take a look at what's been happening with this, I'm going to rewind this a little bit to see what the progression has been with this cell over the past 10 to 15 minutes as it made its way into that part of Arkansas County, exiting Jefferson County. There was a little kink in the line there, and that's why they went ahead and issued that tornado warning. See that little couplet as it approached Humphrey. So again, it might have been a quick touchdown, and then it made its way back into the clouds, and hopefully it stays into the clouds. But the National Weather Service is just taking precautions. Nothing has been confirmed. They're saying the threat for a tornado, for that northern tornado warning into Prairie County is certainly not as concerning as what they were looking at earlier. So they went ahead and expired that. Our system's a little bit delayed, but they're going to continue the one into Arkansas County. So there's the update now with the latest tornado warning still into parts of Arkansas County and also into Monroe County. Still includes the city of Stuttgart, so the siren still may be going off in Stuttgart, but I'm not seeing anything, once again, that's really screaming out to me. There's definitely some rotation where you see the blues and the oranges come together. So if there's something happening, it's going to be very close to Goldman, very close to Yoder, approaching Elmira, and just down to the south of Stuttgart. So I know Stuttgart, you're technically still under the tornado warning, but looks like the concern, if there's something happening, it's going to be right along Highway 165 and approaching the community of Yoder. So Yoder, just be on your guard because this has had a history of showing a little more rotation and then disappears, and then there's a little more rotation and then it disappears. Let's go back over to Storm Track 11 because we are seeing a little yellow pop up now. So that could be indication that this is trying to strengthen a little bit more as it approaches Yoder, as it approaches Elmira and Crockett's Bluff. So Stuttgart, I think for the most part, you're almost out of the danger zone. Still, stay in your safe place for probably another 5 minutes or so until this rotation gets more to the east of you. The rest of the area, things are going to start to improve for the most part. It's just this line. This is the last of the chance of severe weather that we are concerned with over the next 2 hours. Southeast Arkansas, East Arkansas. So still be weather aware. Get ready to take shelter if you need to into this part of the state. Back over to Max now. We do have a new tornado warning that has been issued for Chico County, and that includes the city of Greenville. So now we have 2 tornado warnings that are in effect for pretty much the THV 11 viewing area. This one is for Lake Village. The radar beam, not as good in this part of the state, unfortunately, because it's so high. So we're not getting a good reading on exactly how this storm structure is when it comes to the actual winds within the storm. The National Weather Service is just playing it safe because we are seeing more of a supercell structure with those storms as they make their way out of Ashley County and now get into Chico County, and that would affect the communities of Lake Village, very close to Eudora, although Eudora looks like they're going to be just to the south. So certainly Lake Village and the city of Greenville in Mississippi has to be on their guard for that potential. Back up to the severe thunderstorm warning. Gillette, Dumas, Star City, Grady, high winds, wall of wind, heavy rain, lots of lightning and thunder moving through. There could be a quick tornado embedded within that line with little to no warning. And actually the straight line winds may be stronger than the actual tornado. So best idea, stay away from windows. And if you want to get to a safe place, there's no harm in that. The tornado warning that we're still concerned about continues for parts of Arkansas County, Monroe County. And once again, we're just going to take a look at the warning here, take all the radar data off to give you a good idea. This goes until 6:15. And Simone, if you just want to make sure that you keep me updated on what's happening with the National Weather Service, if you're seeing any updates or anything like that, I certainly would appreciate that you let me know what's going on if you are seeing any changes. So that one tornado warning, once again, for Prairie County has been canceled. We've got 2 tornado warnings in effect for Arkansas. The one in Chico County, the one in Arkansas County, and also into parts of Monroe County. The rest of the area, Little Rock, Arkadelphia, Camden, Malvern, Hot Springs, Bologna, Conway, Searcy, you're all done with the threat of severe weather through the rest of the morning. Yes, there could still be some lightning and thunder, but the threat of damaging wind gusts, the threat of a tornado, the threat of hail, pretty much over. It's this one line, this last bit of this line moving through those counties that I named earlier into Monroe, Arkansas County, into Lincoln County, Deshay County, Drew County, and then down into Ashley and Chico counties. Those are the areas for the next hour or two you need to be on your guard and be prepared to take shelter. And also over to the east, Phillips County, towards Lee County, and getting closer to the Memphis area, the severe weather threat will be shifting in that direction as we go through the course of the morning. So we're still looking at this one storm. It's still showing a little bit inflow right over Yoder. We're going to take a look at the winds once again to see if there's any change. And there's certainly some rotation there. Right over Yoder, that blue, that's the inflow of the storm drawing in that warm and humid air right over Yoder. And that orange is the outflow of this system. So that tells us, yes, we definitely have some rotation, and it looks like it is low-level rotation happening right over Yoder. So Stuttgart, you're pretty much done with that threat of a tornado. It's just to the southeast of you. You want to stay in your safe place for another 5 minutes, no harm in that, but I would say just give it another 5 minutes and you should be fine. It is going to be Yoder. It is going to be the area of Highway 130. If there is something happening at this time, that's where there could be a quick tornado. Nothing has been confirmed. Is that correct, Simone?
Nothing's been confirmed.
It's still Doppler radar indicated, but something could happen at any moment, and it could be a very quick tornado that may last for a couple miles. Hopefully that is the situation, and hopefully it stays in a field or in the woods and doesn't hit any homes or any other property. 130. There you see 130, 153. You have Elmira Airport Road. Those are the areas right now where the highest rotation is located, and it'll be headed towards Crockett's Bluff and eventually towards Casco. So it's moving away from Stuttgart. It'll be moving away from 165.
Speaking of Stuttgart, we're seeing a local storm report 72-mile-an-hour wind gusts at the Stuttgart Municipal Airport.
Okay, that is certainly impressive winds. It's almost a tropical storm force winds, and those type of winds can certainly do some damage. They can bring down some trees, and they can do some minor structural damage. So even if they didn't see an actual tornado, straight line winds can still produce quite a bit of damage. So we have the straight line winds and also the potential of a tornado moving through this part of Arkansas County. And then we're still watching that one tornado warning also in effect for Ashley County and Chico counties. And when we take a look at the radar for the rest of the area,
We also are seeing another local storm report coming out of Jefferson County near the airport in Pine Bluff, 74-mile-an-hour wind gusts.
And that's why they issued that considerable severe thunderstorm warning for Arkansas County into Lincoln County. So even though you're not under tornado warning, it's still a wall of wind, and this wind certainly means business through DeWitt, Gillette, Dumas. So once again, stay away from windows. Be prepared for a wall of wind that could be 70 to 80 miles per hour as it's making its way through Lincoln County, into Arkansas County, and also into parts of eventually Phillips County, it looks like. And we have Deshay County within that severe thunderstorm warning. That is until 6:15 this morning. So this is the window of opportunity is starting to close here in a large part of the state. But we still have this one area we have to watch out for potential of severe weather. Southeast Arkansas and East Arkansas. Everybody else, once again, you're in the clear. So if you're watching us in White County, Cleburne County, Van Buren County, Pope, Conway, Faulkner, Perry, Yell, Garland, Montgomery, Hot Springs, into Grant County, Dallas, Cleveland, Bradley, Calhoun, Ouachita, Nevada, you're all done with the threat of severe weather. It is going to be Chico, Drew, Deshay, Lincoln, Arkansas, Phillips, Monroe, Lee counties, and possibly even up into, I would say, St. Francis and Cross counties and getting towards Memphis, still had the threat of severe weather for the next hour or possibly two. Once this moves through, we're done with the threat of severe weather. The rain will still stick around probably until about 8 o'clock. There could still be some showers around 9 o'clock, but things will improve. It's just this one lone cell. Doesn't have a classic supercell signature to it. We don't see that classic hook gecko signature, but it just has a little bit of rotation embedded within this line, and that's why the National Weather Service continues to go and still stick with this tornado warning as it's now making its way out of Yoder and right along Highway 153 and towards Highway 33, getting close to Casco and Crockett's Bluff. So Stuttgart, you are in the clear right now. You're done with the threat of severe weather. It's going to be those locations to the east. So things have started to quiet down for the most part. Still seeing some certainly heavy rain around Stuttgart, but the worst of the weather, the severe weather threat, has ended for Stuttgart. And looks like, do we have any other updates that you can see, Simone?
No,
We just heard some very high winds. You said move through Jefferson County. We had winds of 70 miles per hour, and those winds could certainly push their way into the rest of Arkansas County.
No new updates at this time. They haven't given any update as far as these warnings, but we're just kind of watching now to see if they make any updates coming up in the next few minutes.
All right, thank you. And once again, this is a...
Power flashes reported by a spotter southwest of Casco.
Okay, so that's exactly what we're looking at. So now there could be a confirmed tornado possibly moving through that part of Arkansas County. So Highway 146, there's Casco, and what we're looking at is this rotation right here. I'm going to put on the rotation signature that we have the likelihood now. There could be something that is trying to happen or is currently happening. When we see power flashes being reported by a spotter, that is an indication that there may be something touching the ground at this time. And this could be just a very quick tornado lasting 1 or 2 miles, and then it goes back up in the clouds. But it looks like, for the most part, if there was something, it did develop as it made its way over Yoder and just to the south of Stuttgart. So if you have any damage reports, or you've heard of any damage reports in this part of Arkansas County, number one, make sure it's safe. Make sure you're in your safe place. But you can always send those reports to us, 501-376-1111. We've been getting a lot of reports, a lot of pictures of hail. It's been a stormy night. A lot of us probably have not gotten much sleep out there because we were all weather aware, which is a great thing to be, because we did have that setup, that we did have the potential of tornadoes. Nothing has been confirmed across the state of Arkansas, but there certainly has been some wind damage and also a lot of hail and flash flooding is a concern out there this morning. So
The latest update, they are just going to continue the tornado warning through 6:15. The polygon has shifted a little bit, so Stuttgart is no longer in the polygon, but still portions of Arkansas County, Monroe County, Prairie County still need to be in their tornado safe space until 6:15.
and they have changed the warning to a confirmed tornado as well, Simone. As we take a look, the warning has gone from
Confirmed,
a
yes.
red to more of a maroon color, and that shows us that this is likely producing a tornado at this time as it approaches the community of Casco. So if you know anybody in Casco, I would send them a message. I'd try to wake them up because we do have, looks like the likelihood now of a tornado right along Highway 146 about to approach the community of Casco, and then it's going to get pretty close to Holly Grove. So Holly Grove in Monroe County, certainly you got to take your tornado precautions. You are under that tornado warning in that part of Monroe County. It's just to the south of Clarendon. Clarendon, you're not under a tornado warning, but anywhere along this line, you got to be on your guard. Be ready to take your tornado precautions because this line may not produce a tornado, but it can still produce straight line winds, 70 to 80 miles per hour as it is rushing its way off to the east and maybe potentially the northeast, 50 to 60 miles per hour. So it's about to move into Phillips County. It'll be moving into the rest of the Shea County, and we still have that tornado warning in effect for Chico County, and that does include the town of Lake Village. So if you know anybody in Lake Village, that tornado warning continues until 6:30. They will certainly hopefully have coverage from the Greenville television market for those folks in Lake Village, but we'll continue to bounce around back and forth with these two areas. Lake Village is a little more populated, so we'll continue to watch that, but at this time, I'm not seeing a lot of rotation with that cell in Chico County, and that's with Jackson National Reserve, Simone. So if you can go to Jackson on the chat system
Yes.
and just give me an update on anything with that cell as well. So we have two tornado warnings in effect right now for Arkansas County into Monroe
So
County.
this is still radar indicated. They haven't confirmed anything, but it's still radar indicated, looking to be near Lake Village in Chico Junction around 6, so within the next 2 to 3 minutes. Looking to impact Greenville, Mississippi within the next 10 minutes.
Okay, so that cell does not have a confirmed tornado. So we'll continue to watch it very closely. Of course, Lake Village, you want to be in your safe place at this time. You don't have much time. As it sells about on top of you, the rotation signature is going to be very close to Lake Village. We're going to stick with the one that does have a confirmed tornado, and that is the one into Arkansas County, about to move into Monroe County, affecting the community of Casco. Let's go over to the winds with this radar, and we're not seeing too much in the form of rotation, but it could be hiding, so don't let your guard down. There's certainly still a wall of wind moving through that area, and it could just be a very quick spin-up tornado type situation where it doesn't last very long, but it can still bring down some trees and do some damage as it makes its way through the community of Casco and makes its way across the Arkansas border into Monroe County. So once again, Monroe County, Holly Grove, you do have that tornado warning in effect as this cell that has had a history of producing rotation is headed in your direction. And that is still a confirmed tornado warning that they're going with at this time, although hopefully it's going back up in the clouds. We just don't know, one, because there's not a lot of population out there, and two, it's dark. We can't see anything, although we did have some power flashes according to a spotter, and that's why they went ahead and upgraded that tornado warning from a likely tornado warning to a confirmed tornado warning. We'll span out here once again, Simone. We'll take a look at what's happening because things are starting to quiet down for areas to the west in Montgomery County, into Pike County, and then things still rainy, still maybe some thunder, lightning through Garland County into Hot Spring County, also Pulaski County, Little Rock Metro. But we are done with the threat of severe weather here in most of central Arkansas. The last bit of severe weather is going to be for East Arkansas. So don't worry here in central Arkansas. We're done with a threat of severe weather for the most part, unless you're watching us in Arkansas County, in Deshay County, and any county along the Mississippi River still has that threat of severe weather until about another hour or so. And then things will really start to improve for the rest of us. It's going to be the cold air that wraps its way around the system, and the temperatures will be falling throughout the day. Here's the latest with the tornado watch as the computer starts to load here. And I might have to tell you what counties are done, because they may not have adjusted it just yet. So there you see, tornado watch, over with. Little Rock Metro, I would take Jefferson County out of the tornado watch, and I would probably take out Union as well, because they're done with the threat. But still be on your guard for Monroe County. Prairie County, I would take you out as well. You're done with the threat of tornadoes. That line's to the east of you. So it's going to be Woodruff County, Monroe County, Arkansas County, Deshay, Chico, Drew, Ashley, and still parts of Lincoln County with that threat of severe weather, and then towards Memphis. Everybody else is in the clear. So we just have another hour or so to go before we can say we are done with the threat of severe weather here in Arkansas. But we still have that one tornado warning in effect for Arkansas County into Monroe County. And that's why we are continuing the weather coverage here on THV 11. We will get back to Wake Up Central if this rotation continues to weaken. And I'll just take another look at it here before I make that call, if that's okay to my producer.
We haven't gotten any more updates from the National Weather Service.
Okay. And Little Rock is saying the radar presentation does not look that great.
Mainly going off of law enforcement on the ground, if they can still see the tornado. So maybe here in a bit, if this continues to weaken, they'll go ahead and cancel the warning.
Okay, we're going to take one more look at it and just make sure that the rotation has started to weaken and make sure it's not starting to cycle up once again. So here is the winds. If there's still something there, it's going to be very close to Casco and about to move over from the border of Arkansas County into Monroe County. I'm going to put it on the symbol here for you just to show you exactly what we're looking at. There's another little, maybe something right there pretty close to Holly Grove. So with that said, Holly Grove, just be on your guard. We do have still that line of storms moving through, still could produce very high winds along with heavy rain, probably some lightning, thunder, but there could be a quick tornado with little to no warning. So just be prepared for that case. And then even down into the rest of Arkansas County, Deshay County, I'm just going down the line to see if I see any other little spots that are a little suspicious to me. Along this line, you just have to be prepared. Until this line moves through, just be safe. Take your precautions as if it were a tornado, I would say, for Deshay County, for Arkansas County, because the winds have been possibly 70 to 80 miles per hour. So, you want to stay away from windows, stay away from any exterior walls if you can, just to be safe. There's nothing wrong with being safe in this type of situation. So that tornado warning still remains in effect for the next, let's see here, it's still in effect until 6:15. So it's going to be moving into Monroe County. I'm going to take one more look here at Storm Track 11 to see if there's any other issues. If we can go to Storm Track 11 real quick. And I'm going to take a look at our rotation tool to see if that's picking up anything. And there's just little splotches of rotation here and there. Looks like there's one pretty close to Gillette. Let me take a little closer look at that. I'm not seeing any appendage with that, but a little rotation there near Gillette. So watch out for that. Gillette and to the east of Gillette.
A new tornado warning has been issued for Arkansas and Monroe until 6:30.
Okay, is that for the same cell?
That's for the same cell.
Okay,
They
so-
just extended it farther east.
So they did not go with the confirmed tornado warning. They just went with a likely tornado warning. So let's go back over to Max 1. And there's the brand new tornado warning that has been issued for Monroe County. And that does include Holly Grove once again, Highway 17, Highway 146, Highway 86, and Highway 366 approaching the Louisiana Purchase State Park area if it continues to hold together. So Monroe County is still in our viewing area. This is not a lot of fields, a lot of swamps in this area, I believe. The rotation is still somewhat there, but not as strong, but still don't want to let your guard down in this area. So this part of Monroe County needs to take their tornado precautions just in case something happens. Nothing has been confirmed after it has made its way from Arkansas County and now getting into Monroe County. It could have been a very quick touchdown when we had those reported power flashes, but there's just a little rotation very close to Crockett's Bluff, it looks like, as it makes its way right along the border of Arkansas County, entering into Monroe County. And then we saw that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for a large part of the rest of Arkansas County down through Gillette. And we still have that tornado warning in effect for Chico County, as you have not seen any more updates on that situation, have you, Simone?
Let's check in with the one in Chico County. They just, 2 minutes ago, they did continue the warning for Chico County into Washington, Mississippi. Earlier, they canceled it for Ashley County, so the threat for Ashley County is no more. Still keeping an eye out for Chico County with that warning.
Yeah, it's so hard to get a reading in this part of the state because the radar beam is just so high. We're not getting much of anything with the radar beam being 14,000 feet from Little Rock, and it's probably even about that high from Jackson. Mm-hmm. You had something to add?
Going back to the severe thunderstorm warning for Arkansas County, Deshae, Drew, Jefferson, wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour are possible. They did just go ahead and expire the tornado warning for Arkansas and Monroe County. So now we're just looking at the strong winds with the severe thunderstorm warning.
Okay, so the tornado warning that they just issued has now
They've expired.
That. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we just had that severe thunderstorm warning, considerable, which could also produce a quick tornado with little warning or no notice at all, embedded within that wall of wind as it moves through Arkansas County into Deshae County now. And we still have that tornado warning in effect for Chico County. So I think with that said, that warning is about to move. Looks like that cell's almost past Lake Village. So Lake Village, once again, stay in your safe place for the next 5 minutes, but that cell is almost out of Lake Village. It's a little hard to get a reading because we don't know exactly where this cell is because it's so high. So Lake Village, stay in your safe place for the next, I would say, 10 minutes until that warning expires. The rest of the area, I'm just looking at severe thunderstorm warnings. So with that tornado warning being expired in Monroe County, we're going to go ahead and send things back over to Hayden, or are we going to break, producers? Okay, we're going to go to break first. We're going to basically reset everything, and then Hayden will have more news on Wake Up Central at 6.